Skyrim Special Edition, or how it is also called Skyrim Remaster, was maybe the most controversial release during Bethesda existence. While giving better graphics and, what if more important, better stability because of having a 64-bit engine and so long-awaited mod support for consoles, the point of releasing remaster exactly of Skyrim is very arguable. Of course, it is a good intention to improve the game, but if making a remaster, why not to remaster Oblivion, Daggerfall or Morrowind? While Daggerfall, of course, is a very old game and not very well known by most of nowadays Elder Scrolls community, remaster of Morrowind, for example, would be just a brilliant present to all Elder Scrolls fans. Mod support for consoles is another great benefit, but you may also ask, hey folks, what technically stopped you from supporting the mods for original Skyrim 5 years ago, at least the gameplay mods? Well, we will never know the answer. But today's video is about how Special Edition is actually available for PC players, and so about the modding experience. And so, a little disclaimer, this video was done not to offend people playing this or that game version or people playing on consoles. It is just an objective analysis of the game and its modding possibilities that I hope will help you better understand the real state of things. PC modding opens a wide amount of possibilities. PC players have ENB support and so having amazing visuals not supported by original game engine. As modern PCs are mostly much more powerful than the consoles, PC players can install much bigger amount of both graphics and gameplay mods. For most of PC players, modding means maximum results in gameplay and, if you have decent strong rig, in graphics too. But what about Special Edition? First of all, the gameplay. Special Edition has 64-bit engine, and so it can use all power of your PC, while original Skyrim was limited in RAM, up to 4 GB only. So, at the first sight, you can now install hundreds of gameplay mods without worries, overhauling your gameplay mechanics from A to Z, adding thousands of new encounters, new spells, armors, weapons, survival elements and so on. But the most tricky detail here, that not everyone knows about, is that script engine of the game, Papyrus, has not changed between original Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition at all. This actually means that if you will install, let's say, 100 script-heavy gameplay mods, you will have the same problems in both original Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition, script overload and Soulse stutters and possible crashes. You will need to optimize your game script load by deciding which mods to keep and which mods to remove to have your game stable and smooth. So, while having 64-bit engine and being more stable initially, that makes not much sense because you still will have to optimize your game when having heavy modded setup. Sounds a bit wild, yeah? Not so long ago, SkySE 64 and SkyUI were released in beta versions for Special Edition, and so support for SkySE dependent mods appeared. But the thing is that most of mod authors that are active now already ported their mods as SkySE free versions. Usually that means no MCM menu and less amount of features, from just a little difference to huge amount of cut features, depending on mod type and complexity. That, of course, gave a lot of additional motivation to modders, but that is still not made amount of gameplay mods the same as for original Skyrim. Dual Sheet Redux, TK Dodge, Deadly Dragons, Ultimate Combat, Trade and Butter, Requiem, Complete Alchemy and Cooking Overhaul, Complete Crafting Overhaul, Moloch Bowl's Inferno, Expanded Towns and Cities, Dragonborn Ascendant, Immersive College of Winterhold, Traps Make Noise, Timing is Everything, Lost Grimoire, Inconsequential NPCs, Canadic Encounterments, Race Menu, UI Extensions, Skyrim Hotkey Manager. Many of these mods are essential for players, but still not ported to Special Edition. Maybe some of these mods will be ported, maybe all of them, maybe no. And that's only a list of very well known and absolutely popular mods. Complete list has hundreds of different cool mods. The thing that many mods are abandoned or simply too big and complex to port, but still essential. That's why even the release of SkySE 64 and SkyUI for Special Edition does not guarantee you will have all or at least most of your favorite gameplay mods. But we, of course, certainly should hope for the best. Secondly, the graphics. As it was already mentioned, Special Edition has 64-bit engine and technically can handle much bigger load. Once again, technically, you can now install all landscape, flora and city mods, let's say in 4K resolution, body and skin mods in 8K resolution for absolute beautiful characters and so on. It also has better texture resolution by default compared to original Skyrim, much better shadows and some other very noticeable and great visual improvements. But there is one but. ENB, graphics improvement engine that is available only for PC players. Exactly, the ENB makes Skyrim look so amazingly beautiful and up to date, in most cases even better than, of course not all, but many modern games. While graphic mods simply give you better looking textures with better meshes and high resolution, ENB adds visual effects that game engine does not have at all. Some of them are the real anti-aliasing, ambient occlusion, much more better looking bloom, HDR, detailed shadows, god rays, water shaders, parallax and so on. For example, anti-aliasing makes edges of objects looks very smooth and so realistic. Without anti-aliasing, your trees leaves, grass, branches, weapon and armor edges will look like gnawed by rats. Or the parallax, imitation of 3D look of objects. So if you're looking on a brick wall, you actually see these bricks in 3 dimension instead of seeing everything like one flat picture. Long story short, Skyrim only with the ENB, but without any retexture mods at all, will look much better than Skyrim with, let's say, 200 texture mods, but without an ENB, because no texture resolution mods can give you effects that game engine simply doesn't have. Skyrim Special Edition still needs the ENB for best possible graphics, because even the new engine does not support most of amazing visual effects that ENB supports. And here comes the most wild detail. Skyrim Special Edition actually uses Fallout 4 engine, which is very limited in amount of ENB features. Special Edition ENB does not support real anti-aliasing, parallax, most of water shaders and many other features. And unfortunately, that is not something can be fixed by Boris Vorontsov. For those who are not aware, Boris is the original author of ENB binaries, the ENB engine. Simply because the game engine itself is not able to support these effects even with the ENB. If you are using ENB in Special Edition, you may notice that all ENB presets there require usage of in-game anti-aliasing, while original Skyrim ENB presets require it to be disabled completely, because ENB in Special Edition simply does not support it at full power, and in-game anti-aliasing is not good at all. So, you want smooth object edges? Nope. You want water shaders? Nope. You want 3D looking objects? Nope. Look on the flat textures. That, in my opinion, is the most ridiculous thing about Special Edition. With much more modern engine, it, even insanely heavily modded, will never visually look not even better, but just the same good as heavy modded original Skyrim. Just for a better understanding, here is a brief demonstration. You can now look on some comparison shots made in Skyrim Special Edition and in original Skyrim. Both games are heavily graphics modded, have mostly the same landscape and other texture mods, the same lighting mod, same water mod, and what is more important, have the same ENB preset. In my case, it is a Rudy ENB. The shots were taken in the same places. There still can be a little differences in amount of objects or frame position just because I had to take the shots in 2 separate games. But I tried to make them as much accurate as possible. Pay your attention to not even the textures themselves, but to the ENB effects and the overall look. You can clearly see that. Jagged tree leaves and branches edges. Seams and fissures on bricks and walls textures in Whiterun and High Hrothgar are flat, while when looking on the stone floor in Whiterun in original Skyrim, you can actually see that this floor is not flat. The overall quality of ambient lighting, bloom, HDR is much better in original Skyrim too. And water, well, I don't think something should be even told about the water, it is just obvious. I made the comparison shots because I also realized it is not very noticeable at the first sight, because yes, the game looks good, no doubt. It looks much better than unmodded game, no doubt. But when you simply compare them, the difference is drastic. Number 3. Performance and stability. That's a very discussable question, but I will try to show you my point of view very accurate. Special Edition has 64-bit engine, and that's a huge advantage over original Skyrim, at the first sight. 64-bit engine means it uses all your RAM, operative memory, and uses all your RAM, graphics card video memory, and does this just by default. Original Skyrim can use only up to 4 GB of RAM, and to use all power of your video card, you need to make some tweaks. So for Special Edition, you simply don't need to make memory tweaks, and you can install best possible textures and other graphic mods. You will have no problems unless while your rig is able to handle that technically. That's the only difference. You still need to learn about compatibility and be careful about script overload when adding a lot of mods, no matter is it original Skyrim or Skyrim Special Edition. The other thing is that playing very heavy modded original Skyrim is absolutely possible. Everything you need is to spend some time reading and learning about memory allocation and some other stability tweaks. And that is not hard at all, it requires only a little attention and a few time. There are a lot of modding guides in internet, just another example is my Skyrim Ultimate Modding Guide on Nexus. It has A to Z instructions of how to make your game absolutely stable, have good FPS and literally never have crashes at all. Some of you may have seen my mod showcases or roleplay that counts dozens of hours of regular gameplay as well as Skyrim streams. I didn't have a single crash for months, and I'm playing with 740 mods. From this list about 390 is the graphic mods and about 360 are the gameplay mods. Many of them are very script heavy. And of course, I am using ENB on top of that too. But wait, I can play with all 4K landscape and 8K body and skin mods, huh? Original Skyrim will not be able to handle that even with all the tricks. Yes, with full 4K landscape mods and 8K body mods, there most likely will be huge stutters and big FPS drops in original Skyrim even on very strong rig. But the actual moment here is that 8K or even 4K textures resolution, please do not confuse texture resolution with screen resolution, have almost no sense in regular gameplay, because you will not see any difference between, let's say, 8K textures and 2K textures until you come like at a distance of 2 steps to the object. These huge textures make sense only when you are a screen archer, person who makes super duper ultra resolution screenshots, like making photos of bugs, tree leaves or face details and so on. But for screen archery, FPS level doesn't matter at all, as you just making the screenshots and not actually playing. So, the main message here is that both game versions can be absolutely stable and have good FPS level, while the only difference is to spend some time to learn how to make that memory tweaks in original game. Number 4. Creation Club. Oh my god. So, Creation Club. Armored mod crab, badly realized survival mod that has borrowed random features from some well-known mods like Campfire, Frostfall and Skydye, and different armor and weapon mods for different prices, from 50 cents to a few dollars for one mod. When PC modding has everything of this for 5 years already, much more, much better, and for free. So, summarizing everything said before, Skyrim Special Edition in overall is a great improvement, no doubt, especially for console players who now have much better graphics and thousands of various mods. But for PC modding, Special Edition has worse gameplay modding possibilities, lacking hundreds of different mods in overall and dozens of essential mods. Graphics-wise, Special Edition is losing to original Skyrim completely because of very bad ENB, while the ENB itself is a decisive detail in graphics. What is even more sad here, unlike with gameplay mods, where we possibly will be able to have close to same amount of great gameplay mods as in original game, situation with Special Edition ENB cannot be changed at all, because just of Special Edition engine limitations regarding the ENB itself. So, is the difference in a few evenings of your free time that you need to spend to learn how to tweak Skyrim memory usage and make some additional stability tweaks? Is it worth losing most of features in amazing graphics and dozens of your favorite gameplay mods? For me, the answer is obvious. That's it. Thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to enable channel notifications to not miss the new videos. Feel free to join channel community in Discord and stay tuned. Scimitar Gaming here, signing out.